Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my Hawaii story time. Like you guys know, I posted on Twitter that a little incident happened while we were out there, and a lot of you guys were dying to know what was going on and were still asking me about what happened that night, that day in Hawaii. So I wanted to go ahead and just film this whole video for you guys, just give you guys a quick story time about what happened. So if you guys are interested to find out what was the scoop, then just keep on watching. So it started off on our second day. I believe it was our second day in Hawaii, and we were in a resort. Usually while we were in our resort, I'm like dropping everything over here. While we were at our resort, we had purchased bottles just because in Hawaii everything's obviously a little bit more expensive. Just to save money, the group bought a bunch of bottles, and they were turning up before we would head out somewhere. So it was early morning and we hadn't even had breakfast yet. So I was already like grouchy as fuck because I was needing food in my system and everybody's just thinking about drinking. And I had my niece there. My niece was turning up, getting drunk, drinking off the wall, and I was like, baby girl, slow down because you're gonna get fucked up. She ended up getting super intoxicated, but we ended up calling our Lyft driver. So we were gonna go have breakfast after the group, you know, got done with their drinking and turning up. Mind you guys, my niece was drinking a lot and quick. She probably got drunk in like an hour because of how fast she was just downing those drinks. So I already knew that she was lost. She was gonna be a lost cause at this point because she was drinking so much. So I was like, let me not even try to say anything because she's probably gonna be drunk by the time we leave. So we get the Lyft driver. I ended up cutting her off. I was like, dude, you need to chill because you're not even gonna make it to the freaking resort. I mean, to the breakfast spot if you keep drinking that way. So she was chilling a little bit. We get our Lyft driver, and I'm guessing the air, you know, hit her right when we got outside because she was like, oh my god, I don't feel good, I need to pee, and she was just a mess at this point. So we get our Lyft driver, she gets in, and we're on our way to the Safeway. So there's a Safeway like in the middle of downtown area, not downtown, but like in the middle of like where everything is at in Maui, and this is where we would get dropped off whenever we were gonna go out or do something because it was like in the middle of everything that was like walking distance. So we got dropped off at the Safeway, but on our way to Safeway, my niece is vomiting her life away, okay? I even told her when she sat in the middle, and I was like, dude, sit on the right side by the window because you're gonna throw up. She was like, I'm fine, I'm okay. And then I was like, oh my god, dude, you're gonna end up vomiting your life away. And she was like, no, I'm okay. So it ended up being she was gonna throw up. So she was like, as soon as we get into the car, well, we were about to get there because we weren't that far down from where we were at, but you can see her and she's like, and then I was like, oh hell no. I was like, mind you guys, okay, I'm like 16 weeks pregnant at this time, and anything that has to do with vomiting makes me nauseous. I was like, I was like, I am not about to witness her vomiting right now. Usually if somebody's throwing up when they're drunk, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm usually the one holding up the hair and like patting them on the back and giving them water so they can vomit. Me being pregnant right now was not the business. So I told the cab driver, like, you need to slow down, pull over somewhere because my niece is throwing up. And then he was like, oh no, like, you know, he's thinking about his car, but luckily she didn't throw up inside his car. She was able to like pop her head out the window to throw up outside. I was like, oh my god. And this is what's crazy, like, you know, when you're not drinking with other people, you notice these things, and I was just like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, this freaking driver is probably like, you fucking dumbasses. And I was just like trying to apologize and telling him that I was so sorry, and the guy was like, no, it's fine, don't worry about it, you know, it happens. And luckily she didn't throw up in the car, but I was just like, I was so mad at this point. I was like, Yvette, you need to get your shit together. Nobody told you to fucking drink so much. You know, so I was already irritated. So she throws up, she handles her business, she gets back in. I think we had a bag with us or something, or probably just napkins, I'm not sure, but we gave them to her and she was just kind of like chilling there. So then finally we arrived to Safeway. It's like literally 2 minutes after she started throwing up, we get to Safeway. So as soon as we get to Safeway, there's like this big trash can there, and she ran like straight to the trash can. Like we took her out, and she was at the point where it was like dead weight. Like she was already like tirada, like you couldn't even pick her up, you know? So I was like, I'm gonna have to go. All I kept thinking was, I'm gonna have to go back to the resort, take my niece, lay her down, chill there with her, make sure that she's okay, and I have no food in my system. Like I was being so selfish at this point, okay, because all I could think about was the fact that I was so hungry. I was like, I'm starving. I was like, everybody's drunk, so they don't care about food. I'm sober. I need some food because I'm gonna pass out if I don't get damn food. So I was just so mad. So we were the girl. We took the cab, like just girls. I'm like over here freaking not even being able to talk. But the girls took one cab, and then the guys took another car. So the guys hadn't even got here yet. So it's me, Judith, Jasmine, and Yvette. And we're just there, and my niece is like throwing up. I can smell the freaking vomit. And my cousin, I told Judith, I was like, you need to come and grab her hair and hold her because I can't right now. And I was just being like a freaking dramatic ass, but I just couldn't take the smell of her vomiting. So she's throwing up. So I'm like on the side. So let's try to envision this. So the Safeway's like on this side, right? And the parking lot is all this area here. The trash can is right here next to me, and the cars are parked like right in front of me. So I'm like to the left of my niece, and my niece is throwing up, and the girls are there intoxicated, all of them, and I'm right here, and I'm on my phone, and I'm already trying to get a lift so I can take my niece back home, because there's no way that we're gonna be carrying her around the restaurant when she can't even pick herself up. Like she was done. Okay, so she's throwing up, and then I'm like on my phone, and as I'm on my phone, I see like this car pull up. It was like a red, I want to say like a red Jeep, but like the older ones, not a Wrangler, like those little small Jeeps. I don't even know what kind of Jeeps they are, but it was like a small Jeep if I'm not mistaken. And then the guys arrive. So then the guys get here, and then Ulises comes down, and Miguel and Javi. And I'm like, you guys need to get my niece a bag or something because she's throwing up, or some napkins. So Javi and Miguel go into Safeway, and Ulises stays outside with me. So he's just there like right next to me, and he was like, well, what are we gonna do? And then I was like, well, I have to go. Like I'm saying, I was so mad, okay? So I was like, well, I have to leave. I was like, I'm gonna have to go take my niece back to the resort because I'm not gonna like be here. So just go eat, and then I'll meet you guys. And then Ulises was like, well, we're not gonna do that. We might as well just all leave together because there's no point of like letting you just go by yourself. And then I was like, no, it's fine, just drink and do whatever you guys gotta do, and I'll go back with my niece, you know? I just felt like I needed to be that person to like be responsible and like not ruin their fun. So I was like, let me just go and take her and take care of her while they still do what they gotta do. But they of course didn't want to go. They were like, no, we're all gonna leave together, we're not gonna just leave you, you know? So I was like, okay. So I'm there talking to Ulises. I'm just like minding my own business. I'm like telling him how mad I am and how irritated I am. And then all of a sudden I see this freaking guy. I don't have my phone with me, but I actually have one of my cases. So I see the guy, okay? The guy is like right in front of me, and he's like this, like he's just like holding his phone up towards my knees, and he's like zooming in and zooming in and zooming in. Like you can see like he's like going like this, you know, but he's like not looking. So I'm like staring, and I don't know if he thought I was drunk, and I wasn't gonna notice. And obviously I was face forward, and when I'm face forward, most people don't know that I'm pregnant. Like my belly, I'm literally all belly. Like the only way you know if I'm pregnant is if I turn to the side and it's like round, you know? So I was looking at him, and I'm like legit staring at him, and hell, we're not that far away from each other, okay? At all. And then he's with a girl, okay? So I'm like looking, and I like cross my hands, and I'm like just staring for like a good minute trying to figure out, because at this point I'm thinking, and I'm like, I feel like Mama Bear just like fucking kicked in at this point, because it's different when it's like myself. Like of course I'm gonna defend myself, but it's like when I feel like you're picking on like my niece or my sister, or like people around me, it's like I go into protective mode. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I get my ass beat, but I'm about to go run up on this bitch real quick. So I was so pissed at the fact that like I was like looking at him and I was like, is this little bastard really recording? So I just sat there and I was thinking like, do I run up on him? Like I'm pregnant? Like what if I get my ass beat by some dude right now? Like I should be thinking a little bit more rational. Like there is a baby inside of me. Honestly, the only thing that was stopping me is the fact that I had a baby inside of me. Like for me to go crazy and like even say anything, you know? And on top of that, I was with Ulises and it's like, I don't want to be that girl that starts an argument and then like my husband has to come and like get into a fight with some guy because I decided to fucking open up my mouth, you know what I mean? So it's like I always think about that. Like I don't just do shit to do shit. Like I honestly do think about things before they happen. So I'm just looking at him and I totally says, is that fucking guy recording? Like, and I say it pretty loud, you know, where he can hear it. And then Ulises was like, what guy? And then I was like, that fucking guy right there. And I'm like staring right into him, you know? And then the guy noticed that like I was looking. So he like put the phone down and then he gave me like his shoulder. And then he started talking to his girlfriend, wife, whatever. They were pretty fucking grown. Like they weren't little kids. They were probably like in their late 30s, okay? So the girl, I can see that she's like kind of like giggling, and then he's like trying to kiss her to like try to like disimular that he was recording. So I was like Blanca, do you just go and say something? But they got off their car so quick. So they, as soon as they saw that I was recording, they kind of like got off and then they went into Safeway. So at this point I'm boiling, okay? So I didn't react right away. I didn't just go and like say something. I was just like, I just caught some guy recording. So I was just mad. I was like so pissed. So 100 million scenarios were running through my mind. So they're in Hawaii. Everybody's cars are usually like open. Windows are down, everything. So I was like, I'm gonna grab this water bottle and I'm gonna fucking go and put it in his fucking seat. You know? So I... like if you guys would have seen the fucking shit that was going in my head, like I was thinking of like every possible way to just go and like fuck up his car or like wait for him to come back. Like I was just like, what am I gonna do? My niece is throwing up. I know that he's not like just sitting there chilling because he was trying to be funny. Like this was pissing me off. And what pissed me off more, it was because I don't think he was recording my niece because she was throwing up. My niece was in a bathing suit, so she was wearing like little shorts, so my niece was literally like down, you know? So for all I know, he was probably like recording her fucking nalguitas and shit popping out of her freaking bathing suit. So that's what pissed me off, because I was like, I'm not about to have my niece on the fucking internet, people talking shit or saying something because this fucking little bastard decided to come and record her, you know? So I'm telling you guys, like in those 2 minutes, like 100 million scenarios ran through my head. So we're waiting for our Lyft driver at this point. So we're waiting for our Lyft driver, and the first driver gets here, and I tell him like, hey, my niece is throwing up. Is it okay if we take her? And he was like, honestly, I would call somebody else. I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, I pretty much told him like, she's not gonna throw up anymore. Like we have a bag. Like, can you just take us to our resort? And he was like, no. So then I had to call another Lyft driver. So now I'm even twice as mad. Okay, so I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm about to fucking like slice this Lyft driver right now too. So then we get the second Lyft driver, and it was actually the guy that dropped us off. Like I don't know how that happened, but thankfully it was him, the one that dropped us off. And he was like, of course, I'll take you guys back, don't even worry about it. He was super sweet, super nice. And mind you guys, everybody in Hawaii is amazing. Like the people out there were so sweet, so welcoming. In no way am I trying to like talk bad about the place where I was at, and my experience was beautiful. It was just this little incident that obviously happened. But anyways, so then the other guy ends up getting here. So it was about a minute before he got there, the guy and the fucking girl come out. So I was like, this is my chance. I was like, let me just go, you know. So we were already walking like towards where the Lyft guy was gonna pick us up. So I have Ulises with me, and then the girls are grabbing Yvette, and then we're taking her. So then the guy's coming out like towards the side, and then I was like, I hope you deleted that video. And then he was like you can tell, as soon as I said I hope you deleted that video, you can tell that he kind of like looked down, like he was low-key ashamed. In no way did he try to like say anything back to me or say anything disrespectful, you know? So that's why it was kind of hard for me to like even sit there and like go off on him, because he was honestly not even trying to be a dick about it, but I was just so pissed, you know? So then he said, yeah, I did. So as soon as he said, yeah, I did, that just confirmed to me, like, you were fucking recording her the whole time. Like, I was sitting here doubting that maybe you would have, but the fact that you just sat here and you said, yes, I already did, that means you really were fucking recording her. So when he said that, I was like, you're so fucking disrespectful. Have some respect. What kind of grown-ass man records a fucking girl while she's over there throwing up? And I'm just rambling off. I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying. So Lisa was like grabbing me and he's like, babe, chill. And I was like, no, fuck this guy. Like, you have no fucking respect. Like, I just kept telling him what a fucking douchebag he was. Like, you're a douchebag. You have no respect. You're disgusting. You fucking nasty pig. Like, I was like rambling off. The girls, they don't even know what the fuck's going on because they're so drunk. Ulises was pretty sober. So he was kind of like, he was sober but kind of drunk, so he kind of knew what was happening, but I was just going off. So then the guys come out and then I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm over here telling him off, and the guy is honestly not telling me anything. He like goes straight into his car and he's just kind of like pretend like he's not listening to me while I'm like running my mouth, right? So then the girl starts fucking laughing. So then I was like don't, I was like, Blanca, calm down. You're carrying a child. You cannot be stressing. I was like, you should not be stressing out over anything right now. You know, so I went off and then I was like, well, what the fuck do you think is so funny? Like, I was legit just sitting there, like, I thinking like, am I about to just sit here and really be that pregnant breezy that gets into a fight with somebody right now? Obviously, I would never do that, you know, but it was just such an instinct. Like, I just wanted to protect my niece. I felt like I needed to just tell this pig to shut the fuck up. But at that moment, you don't think about these things, about the consequences at least. You just think about the fact that, you know, you're protecting your little niece. That's all you're thinking about. So the girl's just like laughing and she doesn't even say anything. Mind you guys, the people did not tell us anything. And I think this is why nothing happened, because they were super calm. Because it probably would have been some other bitch or some other guy that really wanted to be petty or talk shit, like some shit would have gotten down. But I was straight running my mouth and, you know, they didn't say anything. So then when the guys come out, Javi and Miguel, the guy was like, Miguel was like, what's going on? Why are you so pissed? And then I was like, what's happening? And then I was like, this fucking bastard was fucking recording Yvette. Like, that's so disrespectful. And then Lisa's was like, he was kind of like talking shit, but like the guy was not saying anything, you know what I mean? So it's like there was no arguments there because they were just kind of like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can tell that the guy was actually like, I'm sorry. Like, at one point, like, I like got towards the back and I was like gonna grab his phone legit to see if he fucking recorded, I mean, if he really did delete the video, because I was just so mad. But I had to get my niece in the car too at the same time because our Lyft driver had to go. So I was just like trying to do 100 million things. So then Miguel grabs his phone and then he's like, do you like that? Do you like to be fucking recorded? Like, what kind of fucking shit is that? And like Miguel's like literally in his face recording the guy, you know, like in his face. And the guy like closes the door. Like, he honestly thought that he was probably gonna get his ass beat by all three of them. Like, mind you guys, Miguel, Lisa's, and Javi probably wouldn't even like be the ones to start something. Of course, if something went down, they would protective. Miguel's the one that's the most like, you know, protective out of probably all of them. But he was just like starting problems, and then the guy just ends up pulling out and he was like leaving, and then the guys are just talking shit, and then they're recording, and it was just like a whole bunch of like random messes. But nothing like crazy happened where like anybody got in a fight or anybody got knocked out or anything like that. It was honestly just more like shit talking and a bunch of shenanigans and me being that fucking dramatic ass girl. And I'm not that person, guys. Like, I mean, not anymore. When I was younger, I definitely used to try to run my mouth all the time with little dumb girls and stuff. But now, like, I'm not that. I'm trying not to be that person because, you know, I'm pretty grown now. Like, I feel like grown ass people should not be at the fucking club or on the street fucking fighting. Like, it's not cute. It's ratchet as fuck. But of course, I'm also not going to be that person that doesn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck if I even get my ass beat. Like, as long as I know that I'm defending whoever I'm around, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, hell yeah, like, I got fucking hands, I'll fucking beat a bitch up. Like, no, you know what I mean? But best believe that I'm not just gonna sit there and stay quiet, you know? But my concern overall was just the fact that I didn't want to get the guys into the problem, because it was a guy that I was arguing with, you know? And even at the bars or at the clubs, whenever we go out, like, if somebody's trying to like hit on me or like say something, like, I'm not the one that's gonna be like, oh, that guy tried to touch me, or that guy, he was trying to do this. Like, I'll say it after we leave. When we get home, I'm like, well, there was this guy there and he was trying to hit on me, but not at that moment, because trust me, I know how it is when guys are fighting at the club and all that stuff. So my main concern was making sure my boo's beautiful face was not damaged in this scenario here. But anyways, that was all that happened in Hawaii. But like you guys know, yes, this little bastard was being a fucking dumbass, and I'm pretty sure that we all kind of do that, you know, when we're on our phones and we see something and we're always so quick to record. So that definitely put a different perspective on me, where it's like, it's people's privacy and we shouldn't be doing shit like that, because that really got me to the point where I was like, you have no fucking respect, you know? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little story. Hopefully it wasn't boring, but that's what happened to us when we were in Hawaii, to my poor little niece. And I told her, pues quién te manda que andes allá tomando, verdad? And then my niece is just like, what the fuck happened? Like, she was like so confused. She was like, really? And then everybody was like, yeah, your niece, your aunt was over there freaking trying to like punch somebody. And then she's like, oh, you do love me. I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, I'm over you. But that was our little adventure. Aside from that, Hawaii was amazing. Hawaii was beautiful. I do want to do like a story time on like vacationing and like savings and stuff. I know a lot of you guys always ask me like how I book all of my stuff, and you know, we do try to travel pretty often. Now that I'm pregnant, you know, I'm not gonna be doing much traveling this year, but our goal this year in July was for us to finally go to Europe. So I'm a little sad. We might do it like towards the end of the year, depending if the baby's too small to travel with, but we're still going to be traveling obviously with our baby. So that's the good thing about us being able to. But I know a lot of you guys always have questions on how we're able to do it, because you know, it can get really expensive. So I do want to do like a video touching basis on that. So if you guys want to see something like that, definitely let me know in the comments below. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and thank you guys all so much for watching. Love you guys.